WHD2 Bridgeport, ESPN Radio. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome into ESPN 97.7 Newhouse Afternoon. I'm Matt Lesnick alongside Evan Fay. Izzy Sy. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Doing fantastic. A little sad. It's the last show of the season. Brings a tear to my eyes, but we're going to make it a good one. Let's go. Sun's out. Couldn't be better.
Great day, Izzy?
Yeah, great mood. Last show of the semester, though, but let's go with the bang.
Flew by. Really flew by. But starting out, Syracuse, of course, this weekend, traveled to Berkeley, take on Cal for the first time since 1968, squeaking out the win despite the comeback effort. We saw a lot of what we've seen from Syracuse this year. I mean, the offense went to work, did what they do best, but the defense, of course, the run defense still not looking great.
Yeah, but Syracuse, what I was impressed with in this game was the way that they started. They started out really fast. They raced out to a 20-point halftime lead. The past couple of games got off to a little bit of slow starts against Virginia Tech, and opponents like that. But they really got off to a fast start because of the offense, because of Kyle McCord. He had another 300-yard passing game. LaQuint Allen had another 2 touchdowns. Aranda Gatson had over 100 yards receiving. Trevor Pena was consistent. He had 11 catches on the day. It just seemed like whenever they needed to play, they were going to number 2. So it just seems that Syracuse, they learned from the last couple of weeks where they had those slow starts. They started off fast, and even though the final score was still 33-25, it's a little bit deceiving because Cal did score a late touchdown. Yeah. But I was really impressed with the Orange's all-around effort in this game.
Yeah, it was a good game. You said they scored that garbage time touchdown, but I was impressed by Syracuse's secondary. They played well. They shut them down. Marlo Wax had that nice interception. I think they had it was the second quarter that set them up for a touchdown. And I mean, it was just like you said, it was a classic good Orange football game. I feel like this is the type of game that we should have played against BC the other week, but unfortunately couldn't get that done. And I love a game when all of our stars are balling out. OG, 700 yards, 4 touchdowns in the season. Pena, 736 yards, 5 touchdowns in the season as well. They both went for over 100 yards, both over 7 catches. Love to see it. Let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, and being able to go cross-country and have a 12 p.m. kickoff and still play that well, that was really impressive for the Orange. And this is going to be the first of many West Coast trips in the next few years, so it was definitely encouraging to see. That
it was. And one thing you mentioned the amount of receivers that they got involved. He really spread the wealth as I would say McCord's been doing well this season, but he spread the wealth, 7 different guys getting catches. And, of course, you mentioned Aranda Gatson and Trevor Pena having the really big games.
Yeah, and the offense didn't turn the ball over. McCord didn't throw an interception. Nobody fumbled. So they played good complementary football. But going to the defensive side of things, the defensive line, which we've been talking about all season as a inconsistent unit, I would say, they had 4 sacks. They sacked Mendoza 4 times. They were in the backfield a lot. They had 8 tackles for loss. It seemed like since Marlo Wax has come back that this
he's made an impact.
Yeah, he's definitely made an impact, in terms of pressure, in terms of, lifting up the defense when they do need plays. And we saw that against Cal. They only held them to 7 points in the first half, and it would have been less if they didn't give up that garbage time touchdown. But the defense is all-around effort. Yeah, they gave up 225 yards on the ground, but it was still encouraging to see them 166 yards on the ground, 225 yards passing. It was still good to see the defensive line get that pressure that we've been looking for the past few weeks.
I mean, like you always mention, Evan, where the games won?
In the trenches. I mean, theme of the show, it's a fact. That's where the games are won. 7 yards, letting up 7 yards of carry to the other team, not the best, but we got the pressure. Improvement from what we've seen from the D-line in the past. So, I mean, improvement. What more can you ask for?
Yeah,
I'll take that.
Now Syracuse, they have a chance to get to 8 wins for the first time since 2018 against UConn. This coming Saturday, that should be a win. UConn's one of the worst football teams in America. So I think the Orange, it's safe to say that they will come out on top on that one. And then the end of the season with Miami, one of the best teams in the ACC, did suffer their first loss a couple weeks back. But that'll be an interesting game for the Orange. Finish off the season strong. Get to 9-3. I feel like that would be huge for the first year in Fran Brown's career as a head coach.
It really would. I mean, coming off of I'll say a rocky regime with Dino Babers, it would be a big breath of fresh air to just come out in your first season, get 9 wins coming off of 2 mediocre seasons, and especially if you were to end the year on an upset against Miami, who has been the best team in the ACC pretty much all year.
Be unbelievable.
It would be great. And what would that do to Miami's playoff hopes, too?
Yeah, and the Orange, they have opportunity to play spoiler. And if they do end up beating Miami, there could be a chance that we only see one ACC team in the college football playoff, and that will be obviously the conference winner. But for the Orange, it's just tough to think about the two close calls that they had this year against Stanford and against Boston College, because right now they sit at 4-3 in conference play. They could be 6-1, and they could be tied for second place right now. They could be in the mix for an ACC championship. So just a couple plays away from being
literally a couple plays.
Literally a couple plays away from being in that position. So imagine that if the tables were turned and in Fran Brown's first year they were fighting for a college football playoff spot. I feel like that would have been the story of the year in the ACC, in my opinion.
I agree. I mean, I don't think anyone... Look, we went into... Our expectations going into the year, I think, were, okay, if we can improve
we wanted
just
to see
a little bit. If these new recruits, if the transfers can click, maybe get 7-8 wins, that would be great.
We got 7 wins,
We got 7 wins already. It's really been... if you were grading it, A+ season?
Yeah, I would give it an A. I would give it an A, honestly. A minus, because there's really I have really no major complaints, because the Orange, the offense has looked a lot better, probably the best offense we've seen in the last few years from the Orange, and that's thanks to guys like Kyle McCord, Trevor Pena, Orlando Gatson being healthy, LaQuint Allen actually getting the ball 20 plus times. I feel like that's helped a lot. Defense has been inconsistent, but they've had their moments as well where they've been really good, and Marlo Wax has missed most of the season, so would things have been a little different with him in the lineup? Maybe, because he is one of the best defensive players in the conference, in my opinion. He will be playing on Sundays. So I just think that Fran Brown in his first year, he's done a great job of, guys, buying in, guys locking in, wanting to play together, wanting to, learn from their mistakes. I mean, we saw the leadership that McCord's had on this team coming from a Big Ten program. So, and bringing in experienced transfers, I think he's done a great job with that. I'll give him an A minus range, in my opinion.
Absolutely. A minus just because of those tough losses.
Yeah, and the defensive and special team struggles as well.
Exactly.
Yep.
The special team struggles really hurts me a little bit, but it's hard to think of the woulda coulda scenarios. However, that being said, I'm still excited, very excited for this Miami game. We have Kyle McCord, second leading passer in the nation, next to Mr. Cameron Ward. So it's going to be battle of the most elite air attacks in college football. So it's going to be awesome.
It will be a really good game, and I'm looking forward to it. Unfortunately, it has to be over break.
Yeah, it does have to be over break that Saturday, but we'll definitely be tuning in, though. Back at home.
Definitely. Now, for this Orange team, obviously, hopefully you can end on a good note. Your expectations for next year, because you've had a lot of transfers who are maybe on their way out after maybe one season with the Orange. So what are your expectations for next year?
Well, obviously, we'll have to see what transfers will hit the portal, what guys will come in. You're probably likely going to be looking at for another quarterback,
right?
Could be looking at it for another running back as well. Orlando Gatson will probably declare for the draft. So you'll have to look at different guys, trying to step up, younger guys trying to step up. Right now, the recruiting class, according to 247, is 35 in the nation. You have a few 4-stars coming in. You have Demetrius Samuel Jr., Jalen Prey. You have a couple of guys. You have a lot of 3-stars coming in, so the team will be a lot younger in that regard. So just getting experienced guys in the transfer portal. And like we said, when Fran Brown first got hired here, his job was recruiting. He did a good job of connecting with players, guys wanting to play for him. He was the lead recruiter at Georgia. He did a great job this year bringing in a bunch of transfers. So I expect him to do the same thing. But I think it's a little too early to talk about expectations for next year. But let's just give it a couple months' time and see, what this Orange team will look like come, February, March.
Absolutely. I think we're set up. The Orange is set up to see some defensive improvement next year via recruiting. But the success of the team, it's really going to depend on who's leading the helm at QB once Mr. McCord leaves.
Yes.
That is true. Now we'll see what happens next season, but we're going to take a quick break. Coming back, we'll talk some SU basketball. Stick with us on ESPN 97.7 Newhouse Afternoon. All right. Yeah, I mean, for basketball, I don't know what really is going on because
basketball.
It's like
Can't shoot.
Those are really, yeah.
It's the
Can't
shooting.
Can't shoot. Can't make free throws.
Interior defense, terrible.
Nah, I wouldn't even say that.
You don't
Like,
think so?
The paint's been fine. Like we've been out rebounding opponents. Like
I guess
we've
that's
been
true.
Protecting
I
them.
guess that's true.
Like it's not a huge issue. It's just like sometimes there's these mental lapses as well. Like it's I don't know.
Is it delusional to say I'm not that worried?
It's 3 games in, so even if they were blowing these teams out, like there still wouldn't be a lot of stock being put into it.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. They just can't shoot. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, I mean, 22% from 3.
Yeah.
Missing 13 free throws too.
Yeah,
That's,
you can't make free throws. You're
60%,
64% as a team.
on the
Starling is 64%. Lampkin's 40%.
yeah, it's
it's not great. So, but the offense looks better.
yeah, it's just the defense. I mean, I feel like
And Starling, I think that was his best game as a
40 points.
as an orange player.
definitely.
He was really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he's taking the leap.
Yes.
He looks confident. He got rid of the hitch in his jump shot too.
Yeah. I noticed that.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
I mean, Eddie Lampkin's averaging a near double-double. Same with Donnie Freeman.
I love Lampkin.
Same with Jair Davis. Like,
I feel like we're passing it better.
yeah. I mean, Jaquan Carlos has been bad, but
Yeah, scoring wise, he hasn't been great, but I like his playmaking. He's running the offense.
yeah,
So I
just 18% shooting.
I can't really complain.
He's a starter, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's getting starting minutes.
I mean, his job is to be an initiator.
Yeah.
So and he's done a good job of that.
Yeah.
Shots will come.
Yeah.
No comments today.
No, I don't see any. Yeah, no.
When we come back on, we could talk about. We could put in the wheel Christmas music before
Ooh,
Thanksgiving.
no, that's going in the wheel. That's going in the wheel.
What's going on?
Christmas music before Thanksgiving. No.
Hard no.
Hard no.
I can see the argument for Thanksgiving, but
What's the argument?
I would personally say no though. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like
me too.
November, like you're getting closer to Christmas, post-holiday. There's no Thanksgiving music.
I think
That's true.
once you hit like Thanksgiving week, fine. But before that, I just can't.
Mariah Carey would disagree.
Oh, with all the green that's going in her pocket, oh, I'm sure.
How much do you think she gets paid each Christmas?
I don't know, man. It's she goes right back in the charts as soon as November 1st hits.
I mean, yeah, money is money.
Money is money.
Not really done.
87.7 and 100.1. Watch live on QSportsTalk.com. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome back to ESPN 97.7 Newhouse Afternoon. Matt Lesnick with Evan Fay and Izzy Sy. Now, as that football game was ending, or as that football game was starting, the SU men's basketball game was ending, and they ended up taking Youngstown State to double overtime. 104, but they got the win, 104-95. J.J. Starling, 38 points. Now, you mentioned this during the break. You thought that was his best. The biggest takeaway is that was probably his best game with the Orange. However, the one thing we're noticing, they are playing these opponents that they should be probably winning by a lot very close. So what do you think about all this?
Well, going to Starling first, like I said, best game I've seen from him in a Syracuse uniform. He had 38 points. He looked very confident. He was slashing with confidence. His mid-range jump shot was great. He had great touch on his floater. He looked great at navigating, in tight spaces and, getting off to his shot. He got rid of the hitch in his jump shot as well. I thought that's something that I would be looking for coming into the season. He looks a lot smoother. He looks a lot more confident offensively, and that's great. The offense isn't the problem. Eddie Lampkin's done his thing. He had a near triple-double. He was playmaking at a high level. That's something I wasn't really expecting coming into the year, to be honest with you. He's looked great. Donnie Freeman had a great game as well. He was physical. He was strong. He had a couple moves back to the basket, spin baseline for the layup. He did really good with it. He did really good with those things. But this team just can't shoot the ball. They're 25% from three to start the year. 5 of 22, I believe, against Youngstown State.
Yeah. 22%.
Yeah, so that's not great. I think they only made 1 3 in the second half. That's something that needs to be fixed. That's something that, needs to be preached and practiced, because when you get to ACC play, when you're playing against better opponents and not Youngstown State, Lemoyne, and Colgate, you're not going to get away with shooting 22% from three. When you play Tennessee and Texas coming up, Texas is your next opponent this Thursday. So you're not getting away with that against a team of that caliber. So for the Orange, they have a lot to work on, but it's way too early to be concerned or optimistic, in my opinion, or overly optimistic.
That's a good take right there. Too early. It is early. I wouldn't be too concerned yet, but I do just want to appreciate, as you said, Eddie Lampkin, a near triple-double. He had not 1 but 2 no-look behind-the-back assists under the rim, and there's nothing I love more than a passing man. That is valuable. I think the Orange as a whole, we're passing the ball a lot better than we did last year. And, despite the shooting troubles, 25% as a team for this season, 63% free throw this season, that is ugly. But what I tell you, what is encouraging about that is we're able to still win games despite shooting like garbage, frankly. And, that is a good quality of a basketball team, is to win games. We could not be undefeated. We could have dropped one of those 3 games, so it could be a lot worse. We're still 3-0. We're undefeated. Should we have beaten these teams by a lot more? Absolutely, but I'm not as worried as the normal Orange basketball fan right now. I think things will turn around. Just take some discipline, some shooting. Let's get it.
Yeah, and, I know that we are 3-0 at the end of the day, and a win's a win in college basketball. But at the end of the day, the Orange were able to lean on their size and, overpower their opponents. And they won't really have that luxury as often, and especially one thing that wasn't great, shifting gears really quickly, the perimeter defense was a little concerning as well. The point of attack wasn't strong. E.J. Farmer was getting whatever he wanted. And then you play Trey Johnson coming up, and he's been really, really good for Texas to start the year. He's averaging 23 points per game, shooting 59% from the field, 59% from three-point range. The guy is a bucket, and, he's just really good, creating off the dribble, getting to the basket, slashing. He's a very quick guy, quick guard. So you're going to have to be on your game on the perimeter when it comes to containing him. And if you're letting someone like E.J. Farmer do that to you, imagine what Trey Johnson's going to do to you. So that's something that I'm looking at for the Orange, something that I'm looking at for them to fix.
Yeah, exactly. Like you mentioned, you've got some really tough opponents coming up with obviously Tennessee and Texas, and even just mid-major opponents. You've got Notre Dame coming up, which is your first technical conference game. You have Georgetown and Maryland, which Georgetown, of course, not a good team really, but it's still a step up from what you've been playing. So there's going to have to be some improvement within the next few games if they want to have a fighting chance at even being considered for the tournament. Yeah,
in Texas, their next opponent coming up, they have some size as well. They have Arthur Kaluma, they have Caden Shedrick, so they have guys that can give the Orange front court some trouble. I'm not saying that their front court's better than the Orange. I think ours is better with the talent of Freeman and Lampkin and even Chris Bell as well, and Jair Davis off the bench. So I think the depth is better, but Texas does have some size to compete with Syracuse.
Yeah, it is. It's a little concerning. Obviously, we're going to have to play a lot better coming up against these teams than we have been these last 3 games. Like you said, too early to tell. It's too early to tell. They're going to be going at it in practice. Obviously, a lot to address, and we'll see this Thursday what happens.
Yeah, and we mentioned, well, not we mentioned, but a question for the both of you. I know it's only year 2, and I know it's only been 3 games, and I know that the opponents haven't been great, and, they're just, Syracuse is still squeaking out wins. But is it time to have a conversation about Adrian Autry?
I'm going to say, let's wait until I'll say conference play is really in motion.
I agree
because one thing you can say about him, he's a great recruiter.
Yeah.
He has gotten the best recruits for this team since.
Just got Kyan Anthony.
Just got Kyan Anthony. These are some of the best recruits he's been getting. I mean, Donnie Freeman 5-star. You got Elijah. Well, Elijah Moore was committed before him, but you either way, you're getting these big recruits. You're getting these big transfers like Eddie Lampkin and Jair Davis. So on that front, he's been very good. But I will say, in game, it's a little concerning when I feel like there's not a lot of motivation. So I'm not going to say it's time to worry yet, but if the season progresses like we've been seeing in these first 3 games, we might have to start asking questions.
Yeah, I think just a big measuring stick point will be these next 2 games against Texas and Tennessee, higher level D1 opponents, both in tough conferences, seeing how the Orange stack up, because last year against ranked opponents, it was not great. No. It was not great at all when they played when they played higher level competition. So that's the improvement that I want to see. And like you said, I agree. I don't think it's time to have that conversation about Autry yet. I think we have to wait until conference play and how the Orange look against higher level teams, because this year is all about taking the next step. Last year was all about, rebuilding and, seeing what you have with the roster. Now the team is built in Autry's image, so now it's about on him to execute as a coach.
Well, what they say, time solves all issues.
Yeah.
And that's what we see with Autry. The inconsistency in game is a little concerning. I feel like there's just entire spans of multiple minutes where it's taking possession after possession off, and that's not something that we can afford to do against Tennessee and Texas, but we shall see. We shall see. We're all rooting for him.
Yeah, and we mentioned the big news, Kyan Anthony
huge
recruiting, signing his recruitment letter and committing to Syracuse, and he will be on the Hill next year, 2025. We will see Kyan Anthony. The last time this program had an Anthony won the national championship.
So you saw what happened.
Yeah, and we know who his dad is. Carmelo's the legend around here. So seeing his son put on the orange uniform is really, really surreal to see. So how excited are you guys about Kyan?
I'm excited, but I think we also got to keep in mind he's not his dad.
Yeah, he's not.
He's his own person, and that's one thing that they talked about in the podcast where he signed his recruiting letter.
Yeah.
He's his own person. He's his own player. So we can't assign these Carmelo level expectations.
It's unfair.
Yeah.
It's very unfair.
It was the same
as
thing
fun as it is to do, it's important to be realistic as well.
It was the same thing with Bronny and LeBron.
Yeah.
People are expecting him because his name is LeBron James Jr.
Yeah.
They're expecting him to be LeBron James. I don't think at this point, but when he was younger, there were those high expectations. But so I think that's just the most important thing. Of course, he's a big recruit, so there's going to be those high expectations. But let's not fully expect him he's going to carry us to the promised land.
He's not. But in his own right, Kyan is still a good player. He's, great scorer.
Yes.
He's really improved over the last couple of years on the EYBL circuit in AAU and high school basketball. He's looked really, really improved, and that shows in his 4-star rating. So this is a big get for Syracuse, obviously. This is a big deal. Kyan is a big name. He's going to come with, baggage, of course, given who his father is, and, he's going to have the spotlight on him at all times. So just seeing how he handles it, that's something that I'm going to be interested to see, because it starts now, really. Because
absolutely.
The rest of his high school season, we're going to see how he performs. And then when he comes here next fall, the expectations for him are going to be through the roof. And whether that's fair or unfair, that's just reality, in my opinion. And that's just, I want to see how he deals with that, because, like you said, he's his own man. He's going to be 18 years old. And just seeing him progress and be his own player, that's something that I'm really excited to see, because I think he can be a good player for the Orange. Now in terms of becoming a program legend, let's temper the expectations there. But I think he can still be a solid piece and a good player for the Orange, and if he stays a few years, maybe we'll see some really tangible growth from him.
Yeah, I wonder how those guys deal with it. Bronny, that's such a, bigger than life size shoe to fill. So, I mean, that's not an easy thing. We'll see how he deals with it, but let's just appreciate how lucky are we. We're here for it,
Exactly.
We're here for it.
Exactly. We are here for it, and we'll see what Kyan ends up doing with the orange next year. But we're going to take a quick break. Coming back, we'll have some debates about the NFL. Stick with us. ESPN 97.7, Newhouse Afternoon.
The Sports Show with Cody Mack.
All right.
NFL talk.
NFL talk.
My favorite.
Yeah, we got some interesting stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of the same, but it's new.
Yeah,
it's
same,
new.
but different.
Let's see the wheel.
Yep, wheel. Go. So, I mean, yeah, it's...
Another debate question. Is football on Thanksgiving this year worth watching?
I'll throw that in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I mean, maybe Caleb Williams versus the Lions.
That's pretty much it, but even then,
Yeah.
I think the Bears might get slaughtered.
I mean, the way the Lions are playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, they might win.
The way the Bears are playing, too. They have not been good.
They have not been good at all. No, they should have won yesterday.
Well,
though.
yeah, they got...
special teams just...
It's crazy. They had, the top 3 special teams coming in before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, Caleb looked better.
No, he did. And it's just, as Aaron Rodgers said with the Packers, I still own you.
Yeah.
So, new regime, same result.
It's just unfortunate.
Well, the Lions have a history of playing terribly on Thanksgiving, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's going to be their first game against all their division games are coming up pretty much.
Yeah.
So, they're 0-1 in division right now, so.
Yep. And,
Wait, the Lions?
No,
the Bears.
Oh, okay.
The Bears,
the entire
Could
NFC
one.
North just hasn't played each other. Most division games is 3 with the Packers, but everybody else has only played 2.
Wow.
And the Bears played their first one, yeah.
Yeah. It's...
Who did the Lions lose to?
Bucks. The
Bucks.
Bucks.
That's
like
right.
way back
That's
in week
right.
2. That was the Chris Godwin game.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember. And the Bucks play the Giants this week.
Yeah, both teams coming off a bye.
Tommy DeVito.
Mike Evans back in the lineup, looks like.
Yep.
With the Giants, if Tommy DeVito wins 3 meaningless games again, I'm gonna lose it, dude.
Dude, I can see he's gonna ball out, I think.
I hope he doesn't.
I'm gonna lose it, dude.
The Giants fans deserve
Cam Ward.
Draft pick.
They deserve a new QB.
No, you guys are definitely gonna win. You're definitely winning.
We're gonna
We're
gonna win. Well, it was last year because it was the two were it was the Packers, the Monday night game.
Yeah.
And,
and
the Patriots.
Yep. The missed field goal.
Oh my! Chad Ryland did irreversible damage.
Dude, we got that game. Got it straight,
and
man.
I think Ryland the next week hit the game-winning kick against Denver or something. It was like a 56-yarder or whatever it was.
Dude, if that didn't happen, you guys would have Drake May.
We'd have Drake May. Well, and then we beat the Eagles in week 18.
Yeah.
Which it didn't matter, but it's just we got. I'll take Malik Neighbors, and honestly, Shador Sanders or Cam Ward throwing to Malik Neighbors.
It's good.
I'll take that, but Drake May or Jaden Daniels. I have been wanting Drake May as a Giant since his freshman year.
He's so good.
Yeah.
And
he's so good, dude. Think about it. All of our lives are completely different.
I know,
because
dude.
no one kick.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Well,
Yeah.
it was just Tommy DeVito just decided, I'm gonna have a Herculean game on Monday Night Football against a playoff
So
team.
good. He was like
that won a playoff game.
Perfect passer rating.
Yeah, something like that.
That was awesome. With this Asian and everything going viral.
Yeah, and he's just Giants fans do not like. I do not like Tommy DeVito.
Why?
Because he cost us Drake May.
Yeah.
And I know around here that's probably controversial. But
Definitely.
It is, but.
your favorite ESPN Syracuse sports talk shows on QSportsTalk.com. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome back into ESPN 97.7 Newhouse Afternoon. Matt Lesnick with Evan Fay and Izzy Tsai. All right, gentlemen, it's time for debate class. We got some topics, some NFL topics here. I'll say them. You'll take one side, you'll take the other, and that's about it.
Let's do it.
All right, before we do that, though, this hour of Newhouse Afternoon is powered by Drivers Village Cicero. Go to dvoffers.com for more info. All right, starting out in East Rutherford, the Jets lose again, this time to the Colts on a last-minute touchdown by Anthony Richardson. Now, they're 3-8 now, and Aaron Rodgers has a worse winning percentage than both Zach Wilson and Sam Darnold as a Jet. Should they bring him back next year?
I'm going to go with... Look, it's tough because if he wants to come back, I don't think the Jets are going to say no. So I think he will be back, and I probably think that they should bring him back because I think this team, what they truly need is an actual coaching staff and a front office that knows how to, A, deal with personalities and build a proper football team, and B, a coaching staff that can give them discipline, because the Jets are one of the most undisciplined teams in football. That's why they lose games. They lose games because of penalties. They lose games because of dumb mistakes. They lose games because of lack of attention to detail, even from their star players as well. So I think that's what they truly need. They need to clean house. The entire coaching staff needs to be gone at the end of the season, in my opinion. And we'll talk about what the front office needs to do later, but I think that's where they need to start. And Rodgers hasn't looked good, and I don't know what the money situation is like, in terms of, moving on from him versus not moving on from him, but I think that's what they need to address first.
I mean, I would love to play devil's advocate here and say that Rodgers has got to go, but I can't say that. It's just, you can't put the blame on him. I mean, look how good Sam Darnold is.
He's not free of blame, but
he's not free of blame, but
yeah,
it's everybody. Everyone's underperforming. They're the most undisciplined team in football, maybe that I've ever seen. It's crazy the amount of talent that they have. It is truly wild. As you said, get rid of all the coaches. The coaching is terrible. They need where's the leadership in that locker room? I don't know where because that's where the discipline comes from. It starts from the top, from the coaches down to the quarterbacks, the player leaders, to everything. It affects every facet of the game. So it is, the players and Aaron Rodgers are almost as much to blame, but it starts at the top, man. Get rid of those coaches.
Yeah, for sure. And this Jets team, what they remind me of is the 2022 Denver Broncos. That's where I see from them. You bring in a big time QB.
Russ,
bring in a big time QB, expect them to solve all your issues, when in reality you have more issues than you realize. The Jets have a poor offensive line. Their defense has been really bad for the last few weeks, honestly, which is really surprising. I mean, Anthony Richardson was benched for 2 weeks, and yesterday looked like prime Cam Newton. So, honestly, that's what needs to happen. The Jets need to do some serious soul searching.
Honestly, what's the common denominator between those two teams?
Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah. So,
honestly, yeah, spot on comparison, but
yeah,
read between the lines.
Between the lines. Exactly. Now, moving on, up here in New York, the Bills handed the Kansas City Chiefs their first loss of the year. Now, of course, this feels like a yearly occurrence where the Bills will beat them in the regular season, but come the playoffs, it doesn't really mean anything. But this year, is it different? Does it mean anything?
I think it does. And I think it's because of the way they won yesterday. They were able to overpower the Chiefs' defense. They were able to run the ball effectively. Josh Allen had the 26-yard scamper to end the game on 4th down, nonetheless, I believe it was. And the defense looked great. They shut down Mahomes in that passing game. They picked him off twice. He did have 3 touchdowns, but he was under duress a lot. They were able, to execute a great defensive game plan. So I think it's the way that they won that means something, because they weren't really able to do this in the previous years against the Chiefs. They weren't able to run the ball effectively and be a physical football team. They weren't able to stop Mahomes when it mattered or as much. I think that's going to change this year. And, not change, but I don't know what will happen in the playoffs between Kansas City and Buffalo, but I think we're due for another instant classic when they do meet.
I think I agree with you. We are due for another instant classic, but I disagree with you. I think that win means absolutely nothing. I mean, we're waiting for the playoffs at this point. It means nothing. This happened last year. They beat them. Playoffs are what matters. I mean, how many times did prime Tom Brady lose to the Dolphins in the regular season? It does not matter. And we'd all love to see. We would all love to see Josh Allen finally get over the hump. I would love nothing more, but I need to see to believe. I have to. So we'll see come December.
That we will, and of course, I mean, Mahomes isn't even having this great season, but just the defense has been
defense has been phenomenal, and
Yep.
the Bills were able to hang 30 points on them. So.
Exactly. So, all right, but now moving back down to New Jersey, the New York Giants this morning announced Tommy DeVito will be the new starting quarterback. Daniel Jones, it seems like his time with the Giants is probably over. Now, when DeVito started last year, he won two meaningless games, and the Giants ended up losing out on Jaden Daniels and Drake May. Still hurts my heart.
I love it.
To this day. You think that's going to happen again?
I think it most certainly will happen. Sorry to cut you off, but
No,
I
you're
think,
good.
game time Tommy. Come on now. He's going to show up. He had that perfect passer rating game against the playoff Packers last year, and I think it's bound to happen again. It's bound to happen again. Maybe on Thanksgiving against Cooper Rush and the Cowboys, but Izzy, what do you have to say?
I'm going to go with not a chance. I don't think he's ruining the tank. They play the Buccaneers this week coming off a bye. They're going to be fighting for their playoff lives. And for the division, they're still in play for that after the Falcons got absolutely decimated yesterday. They do play Cooper Rush on Thanksgiving, so look, that's going to be it's an interesting quarterback matchup nonetheless.
Go spend time with your family.
Go spend time with your family, eat food. If you want to go get a second plate, go ahead. You're not going to be missing much with this game. Then after that, you play the Saints, which, they haven't been that great. But, again, that's just going to be a battle of who wants to lose more. So that'll be interesting. You're going to have the Ravens, who are probably going to be, pissed off a little bit, these last couple of weeks. And especially, they have a couple division games coming up. And they're going to be fighting for AFC seeding. So I don't think the Giants win that game. Then you go on the road to the Falcons, and then you end with the Colts and you end with the Eagles. And so I don't think he's going to ruin the tank. I don't think Tommy DeVito is a very good quarterback, to say the least. Giants have a lot of issues. And outside of Malik Neighbors, who are your offensive playmakers, you have Tracy, who's been pretty solid. But the Giants have too many issues for DeVito to, ruin the tank again. I think it's safe to say that they will end up with Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. And if he does somehow manage to win these games, I think Joe Shane's going to do whatever he can to get a franchise signal caller this draft, because Daniel Jones, his time is up. It's time to wash your hands clean.
Yep.
It's true. I mean, Tommy DeVito, he's going to be playing for his career. He's going to be balling out there. But I will say
thereof. But yeah, he'll be playing for something.
Yeah, playing for something. Playing for pride.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving back to the Bills, we mentioned that this could very well mean this win against the Chiefs could very well mean something. Excuse me. But are they the best team in the AFC right now?
No, I don't think they are the best team in the AFC. I think until Kansas City gets dethroned in the playoffs, like Evan said, they're the best team in the AFC. And we need to see it January. And we're going to need to see it December, January, where this Buffalo team is and if they really have what it takes to beat Kansas City. And I still think Baltimore's in the mix as well. I think it's between those three teams, but I would say Kansas City's number one. And Baltimore beat the brakes off of Buffalo. I know that was earlier in the season, but that hasn't really left my mind yet.
I think nobody has a better chance besides Buffalo. I would take them over the Ravens, even though, that early week matchup. But like we said, man, there's nothing more I can say except for let's see what happens in December. I mean, that's
pretty much.
That's pretty much it.
Pretty much. All right, two more here. We mentioned the Jets front office earlier and how we think they might need to sweep clean. Are they going to sweep clean? Do you think they should move on from Joe Douglas?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I think the Jets just need to start over. You just get rid of all the bad energy and all the unluckiness and stuff like that. They just need to clean house. They need to clean out the coaching staff. They need to clean out the front office. This season just hasn't gone the way that you expected. Your owner literally came out and said this is the best team the Jets have had in the last 25, 30 years, and you're 3-8. You're near last place in the AFC East. So I just think everybody needs to go. You need to start fresh. Give Aaron Rodgers one more chance in 2025 with Devontae Adams, with Garrett Wilson, all those offensive playmakers. Just start fresh. That's what they need to do.
I mean, they've been saying that for the last 60 years since
Joe Namath.
Since the days of Mr. Joe Namath. But I don't know. Bring back Mark Sanchez or something. Give some excitement.
See what Rex Ryan can do as your new head coach.
Exactly. Yeah. They just need to start.
I think that's their Mark Sanchez might be the only guy who can save that team right now.
Yeah. Bringing Revis as DC.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, our last one. This year's Thanksgiving NFL slate is interesting to say the least. Bears, Lions, Giants, Cowboys, which by the way will be Tommy DeVito versus Cooper Rush, and Dolphins, Packers. Now, the question here is, are you gonna watch?
No, I'm not watching. I'm not watching. Maybe if the Bears Lions game is a little interesting, maybe I'll catch the end of that. But I'm not going with Thanksgiving of the goal of sitting down on the couch watching football all day. That just won't happen. I'll enjoy the company of my family. I'm gonna enjoy the food that's gonna be on my plates, the desserts and whatnot. And I'm probably gonna put on a nice Christmas movie. Honestly, I'd rather do that than watch
Christmas movie.
Yeah, yes. What Thanksgiving movie is there?
Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. It's not a movie, but it's
a classic. I love it.
No, I'll watch an actual Christmas movie. But yeah, football's not worth watching on Thanksgiving. Absolutely not. And there's no NBA games on that day either. So you're really just stuck with football.
Well, a case could be made for a Detroit Lions versus Caleb Williams. Interesting matchup, maybe. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to, spend as much time with my grandmother as possible because, hearing Cooper Rush versus Tommy DeVito on Thanksgiving Day, that just made me cringe in my seat a little bit. I will not waste 1 second.
Dolphins Packers is interesting, I guess, but
with Tua healthy,
Tua healthy now, so maybe that'll be a game. But just spend time with your families, guys.
Yeah,
it's really not that. It's not that deep.
Enjoy your holiday.
Enjoy your holiday.
All right. Well, we're gonna take a quick break, but coming back, we'll have a little bit of a goodbye here.
Yeah.
But stick with us on ESPN 97.7 Newhouse Afternoon.
Don't miss the Kyle McCoy.
All right.
Okay. Beautiful. Man, last segment. No.
Appreciate it.
This one's yours.
Thank you, kind sir.
Barely any either in there.
Where are these from?
College Town.
This will be my first time having it.
Yeah.
Wow. Exactly. That's why it might be a good game. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm excited about this wheel, bro.
Yeah, no, I think this is our best one yet.
This is our best wheel.
Yeah. Let me see. Oh.
Wait, what's this one? Oh, stuffing.
Okay. Yeah. I like this for Monday one.
Dude, you gotta put cranberry sauce in that.
We can.
Actually, no, we all hate it, right?
Yeah, I hate cranberry sauce.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Man, oh man.
Yeah, man.
Last segment.
I know.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I know, it really is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just break and then we're off.
Make me shed a tear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You going back Friday?
Yeah. I have to drive my family friend home too.
Nice.
So all her classes got canceled. So
Oh wow, okay.
yeah, so I can leave Friday morning.
Nice.
Beautiful. Where in New Jersey living in?
I'm in Bernardsville. It's a very small town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great town.
I'd say so.
Great
Pretty
town.
great town.
I'd say great town.
Yeah. Are you from Massachusetts?
Yeah, I'm from Cambridge.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's right next to Boston.
Yeah. You're still here to Saturday?
Yeah, I am.
Staying for the game at all, or?
Nah, I'm leaving early Saturday morning. Yeah, so I'll still have the whole day pretty much at home.
Yeah, that's good.
So.
I'm gonna probably leave around noon because I'm driving Darius to the airport.
Oh, okay.
Driving Darius and live on the same flight. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought Darius' flight was in the morning.
it is.
Oh.
It's 8 a.m.
Uh-oh. He got to be there by 8 a.m. or his flight's
The
at
flight's at 8 a.m.
Oh, so you got to
I'm going early.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go. Let's go.
.com. ESPN 97.7 and 100.1. Watch live on QSportsTalk.com. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome back to ESPN 97.7 Newhouse Afternoon. Now, we have a wheel here, as we usually do, our wheel of buy or sell. Now, this time it's Thanksgiving themed. This is our last show, period, but our last show before Thanksgiving. So let's give it a spin. Izzy, would you like the first spin?
Yes, I would like the first spin.
All
Let's
right.
see it.
Let's see what we got. We got some interesting topics. No sports ones.
Well, we got one
for
sports
the,
one.
We do one sports one? Okay.
All right. Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
Don't mess this up.
Look, I love it. I'm buying, but I'd rather watch a good Christmas film, to be honest. So I'm not selling on Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving because it's a great, it was a childhood favorite of mine. We would always watch it in elementary school the day before Thanksgiving.
Of course.
So, I always liked it as a kid, but I'd rather watch a good Christmas film. So I'm not gonna sell on it. No.
I don't know. That buy was not enthusiastic enough for me.
I'm in agreement there. I mean, but I can understand it's a good transition.
Yeah.
From Thanksgiving to Christmas to just kind of sit down and watch that on
Agreed.
Thanksgiving.
No, as a kid, I loved it. It was
Yes.
a great film, especially when he tries to kick the football and.
Of course.
Yeah.
But,
Of course.
But yeah, so.
That's fair. Now, Evan, I'll give you the next spin.
Give it to me.
All right. Okay, so this one, because a lot of people are actually not as crazy about it as you would think, but turkey.
I am as crazy as they come for it. I get one of the legs each and every year.
Good. I'm glad.
I'm that guy. So
Yeah, my mom's turkey is the greatest
Yeah.
thing on this planet. So I'm buying on that as well.
dark meat or light meat?
Dark.
Easily.
Dark, yeah.
Easily.
I agree. I will say I'm not as heavy of a buy there. I'm a slight buy. It's not my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my favorite. And I mean, I would usually go for.
What is your favorite?
I usually go for something red meat. I can't really eat red meat anymore, but
Yeah.
I used to be able to go red meat all the way, and I just kind of ignored it. But you know what? I'll take it for what I can eat. I'll take it for sure. All right, I'll take the next spin here.
Yes, let's do it. I hope you get one because this concept needs to be discussed. Yes.
Yep.
We got it. Okay. Cyber Monday. It's Black
fake.
Friday. It's Black
fake.
Friday.
It's just a
I don't even know what that is.
It's just the online version of Black Friday, which,
It's
by the
fake.
way, we need to bring back real Black Friday. Those like
exist no more.
75% off sales, like people rushing to the stores to get whatever.
Get the
like
new PlayStation 3.
Exactly. Amazon has ruined Black Friday and
Black
just
Friday.
online shipping. Bring it back. So I'm selling on Cyber Monday. Get rid of that.
I'm selling on Cyber Monday as well. I think it's just an excuse for people that missed Black Friday and Saturday, Sunday to do
Exactly.
shopping. So it's like, oh, let me do Cyber
I'm in
Monday.
agreement.
I think it's fake, honestly. So I don't think we lose much if Cyber Monday is not a thing anymore.
Yeah,
I agree.
Let's bring back moms trying to kill each other
Yeah.
at the door of the mall. How about that? How about that?
I agree. I agree.
No, honestly, real Black Friday. Yeah, listen, there's some experiences that people have had with that, but I think I'm in agreement. I think bringing it back instead of doing this online shopping.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Exactly. I think we're gonna go one more spin here,
All right.
but I think we'll kind of do a group one here. All right. We've got. Okay, I'm a hard sell on this stuffing. I don't like stuffing.
I'm a slight buy. I like stuffing. Again, it's just how my mother makes it. It's so good. Like, I just like it.
Depends on how it's made.
Yeah, stuffing is
Depends
one
on
of
how
those
it's
things.
made.
If it's not made properly, it's gonna taste horrible. But when it's made right, it tastes really,
Yep.
really good. Put some gravy on there too.
Needs a little crunch in there,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
yeah.
I'm a buy on stuffing. Actually, my mom's stuffing. I should actually be. Shout out mom, by the way, for the Thanksgiving.
Shout out. Yeah.
Shout out Izzy's mom.
Shout out Izzy's mom.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I'm looking forward to my Thanksgiving plate. But one thing that we didn't have on here, but I want to do quickly because I know we wanted to do our goodbye. But best Thanksgiving side.
Mac and cheese.
Thank you.
Mac and cheese.
Thank you.
Best? I mean, mac and cheese it's top 3.
Top 3.
Top
what
three.
two
What is
are
ahead of it?
ahead?
Scalloped potatoes. This is a tradition in my family. Throw a bunch of cheese
If it's
on
a
there.
tradition, I understand.
It's a tradition. Okay.
But-
All right, what's the other one?
Stuffing, dude.
Lord have mercy on my soul.
Yup.
Stuffing
Yup.
No.
over mac and cheese.
Put some
bro?
gravy all over it,
I
dude.
can't do it,
Oh
man.
my god.
I can't do it.
When else do you eat stuffing?
Baked mac and cheese on Thanksgiving is the best thing to ever exist on this
It's
planet.
pretty good. It's pretty good.
Stuffing over mac and cheese. I can get behind the potatoes thing because I know it's your family tradition. So shout out Evan's family, for feeding him right on Thanksgiving. But
Yep.
mac and cheese has got to be it's got to be 2 for you, bro, or
I
at least
agree.
number 1.
Man,
I agree.
2v1. 2v1.
Stuffing is crazy. That was anyway.
All right. Anyway, this is our last show of the semester, and I've had a great time with you guys.
Yeah.
And something Izzy and I had been doing at the end of our show for each semester is we went out, we got some bagels,
Yeah.
and we had a feast.
Yes.
Evan, we're happy to bring you into this tradition.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yeah.
So-
Speaking of traditions, yeah.
So again, we're just gonna kind of say goodbye here. We want to thank our producers, Professor Stomsky, who gave us this opportunity. We really appreciate everything that you guys have all done this semester, and I'm just here to have a good time.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a great semester. We talked a lot of ball. Talked about lots of disappointing Jets stuff. I feel like that was every
That was every
That was
week.
it.
week.
That was
I
every
think
week.
we talked about that. Syracuse football had a successful season, or is having
Ups
a
and
successful
downs.
season.
Yeah.
Ups
Yeah.
and downs. Syracuse basketball obviously just starting up, so we didn't have a lot to talk about there.
Yeah.
But no, it was a great semester. We talked about a lot of great
Yep.
things. I had a great time. with
I
you
did
guys,
too.
I had a
honestly.
blast. Talk a lot
So-
about the trenches.
We've
The
had
trenches.
the trenches was
Yeah.
a big theme of the show. We had a lot of great takes as well, and then we had some bad ones to end the show today with stuffing over mac and cheese. But don't
Yep,
let
there we
that
go.
No.
distract you from the great co-hosting job that Evan Fay did this semester.
Stop.
Yes.
That take
Stop.
does not define him.
No.
It does not define him. I just want that to be cleared to the general public. But it's not something I can defend, but I can defend the person. So
Yes, we really enjoyed having you this semester, Evan. You brought a lot, and we were glad that you were able to do this with us.
Why thank you. Why
yes.
thank you.
I think we got a little time for the last spin the wheel.
I really
so.
wanted to do
so.
this last one. It's an
All right,
important one.
all right.
Let's do it.
For
Let's
anyone
we got
watching
this
out
last
there.
one. We can dig in while we do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. This is the one.
This is
Here
big.
you go, Evan.
This is the one. Christmas music before Thanksgiving. Look, I'm gonna sell on that. I think Christmas music after Thanksgiving, that's where it should be starting. But I can see the argument for before Thanksgiving because there is no Thanksgiving music. And Christmas music is it's so great. There's so many songs. There's Jingle Bell Rock. There's, Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You. Like, there's all the songs. So, you got to go through the whole catalog. So I understand before Thanksgiving, but I'd rather do it after. I can see the
understand.
argument for both. I'm playing devil's advocate.
You know what? I used to be just like that. I would actually hear Mariah Carey before Thanksgiving. I said, this is way too soon, but I've had a change of heart recently. We only have a finite number of Christmases left in our life. Mm-hmm. Let's live to the fullest, man. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Why not throw her on?
Exactly.
I just can't. I can't do it, man. I can't do it, man.
So what are you listening to before? Like
I'm just listening to my normal playlist, man. Like
not with like a little sprinkle like
Some like Christmas bells in the back.
yeah.
like all right, I can understand it.
Jingle bell rock, jingle bells swing and jingle bells. I see. We already broke the rule.
All right,
broke the rule.
You know what? It's fine, but you know what? It'll be a good holiday. So
Yeah,
you know
no,
what?
it
It
will
always
be-
out. It always adds.
Will be a good holiday.
It always adds.
Yeah, overall great semester, boys.
Great
I'm
semester.
Really proud of
Amazing
us.
Had a good
semester.
time. Had a
Yes.
really good time. But that's going to do it today for Newhouse Afternoon.
We had a ball.
We had a ball. There'll be shows throughout the rest of the week. And yeah, I'm Matt Lesnick for Izzy Sy and Evan Fay. Thank you for listening.
Peace and love.
This is Orange Nation.
Saying it looks great.